Well, we all seen the absolute embarrassment that was HBO's Velma series, and I imagine, like most, we are glad to be rid of it, because what utter trash it really was. No redeeming qualities whatsoever, just bottom of the barrel, dumpster fire garbage. No positive words to say about the show whatsoever. No joke was funny, and nothing made sense, and it was just a load of stuff happening. Not really much effort put into it. But for some reason, they've decided to embarrass themselves again, as Velma Season 2 is already in development for HBOMax. So at some point, we're going to have another 10 episodes. And the reason I think this, like the reason for this, because of course the usual claim you see is, oh, we told you not to hate watch. I'm just like, do you honestly think millions of people around the world are hate watching Velma? I don't think that's the case, but that's been one of the claims. And I think really it just comes down to they've been ordered, you know, when they got their contract, the order has been for 20 episodes. So that's the reason why. I think Rick and Morty is a big example of this, where they got ordered for like 70 episodes. So that's probably the reason why it's got a season 2, is because just that's what the contract has been. HBOMax have been swindled. That's really all it is. I don't think this show, if it was just the ordered for 10 episodes, one season, it would not be getting renewed, because I guarantee you nobody was watching this show. In the tens of thousands at the most. I don't think millions to justify. I don't think there's enough to justify a season 2. So I don't think it's, I think it just comes down to they were ordered for a certain amount of episodes, and they've just split it into 2 seasons. And I think the other claim we've seen is, oh, it was the most watched HBOMax debut for an adult animated show. And I mean, it's not really in competition with much, is it? It's you know, it's against four other shows, one including Santa Inc. So I question how you know, a tad higher, how much higher was it for it to, you know, continue? Again, it just comes down to they were ordered for a certain amount of episodes, so HBO Max most likely stuck with it. But let's see what the article actually says. It looks like the team behind Velma is already gearing up for season 2, because they were already doing that anyway. The animated series made its debut earlier this year, and the adult Scooby-Doo comedy became a lightning rod for controversy, embarrassment, absolutely nothing more than people taking the piss out of it. And then later on they tried to claim, oh look, people were talking about it, popular! You know, so it was all that, but yeah, it was just trash, it was shit. Still, the show reeled in audiences each week. So every article I seem to read says, oh, it was reeling in audiences. Do you have numbers for this? HBO Max haven't released any numbers. All they've said is, oh, the first episode did really well. You know, it was the most watched debut of all of our original adult animated shows, which was against another 4 shows. That's not an achievement. But we keep seeing this for some reason. They say, oh, it reeled in audiences each week. The viewership was... It's like, stop bullshitting me. Provide numbers if you are going to keep repeating this, because we already know it's bollocks. We already know. And a new report has confirmed a team is already working on Velma's next season. It's probably close to finished. The update comes from Deadline, as the trade spoke with Channing Dungey, the chairman and CEO of Warner Television Group. It was there the executive talked about the company's expansive list of comedies, from Night Court to Ted Lasso. And before the chat ended, Deadline made sure to pass on an update for Velma. Dungey's team is working on a second season of the Scooby-Doo spin-off Velma, and an adult animated comedy that comes from Mindy Kaling. At this time, we have no firm idea of how far development has gotten on season 2, but work is moving along on the series. This info comes shortly after Season 1 released its final episodes on HBO Max, so audiences can binge Velma. I don't think that's happening. I think if you actually attempted to binge Velma, you know, you'd probably do something to yourself. That's what's going to happen when you watch Velma, because it is nothing more than misery. That is all it is, watching that show. Binge the animated series in full if they like. No, they don't like. That's not happening. Of course, this update is a relief for those who work on Velma. No, they should all be sacked. None of them deserve a job. That's how far I'm willing to go, because no thought was put into this show. No effort was put into it. If there was effort, well, that's embarrassing. But netizens aren't quite so joyful. After all, it would put things lightly to say the HBO Max original has been controversial. Well, everyone's just been shitting on it. That's all. That's it's not really controversy. It's just people have been shitting on it because how bad it is. Despite drawing in record audiences, where are you getting this from? Where are you getting it? Every article I read about Velma claims this, yet there's no numbers. Hey, where's HBO Max's numbers? Oh, right, they haven't put them out because it wasn't successful. Because the only time they release numbers is if it does well. If it doesn't, they don't say nothing about it. So stop lying. I guess they are just copying what other articles are saying, because it's like, no, it's not. People aren't watching this show. The Scooby-Doo spin-off earned mixed reviews from critics. They couldn't just outright say how shit it was. They had to leave it up to the audience again. And netizens lambasted the show for its mean-spirited take on Scooby-Doo and the fact it was really, really bad. The worst of the worst. Really was. In fact, Velma earned the title of lowest rated TV series on IMDb, and for some reason people seem to believe, oh, all these millions of people hate-watched it. No, lowest rated TV series, I don't think so. And its current audience rating at Rotten Tomatoes is 7%. Clearly something was lost in translation with Velma Season 1, but Dungy's team may be able to turn things around in Season 2. It's not going to happen. Not gonna happen. Fans, they're fans of this show. I've seen a couple, believe it or not, I've seen a couple of people say how good this show is, and they have brain damage. Fans will just have to wait and see how the series adapts moving forward. And of course, Scooby-Doo fans can always lean on the franchise's classic series if Season 2 lets them down once it drops. So apparently we're getting a Season 2. Again, I think it just comes down to they were ordered for a certain amount of episodes. Really, because there is no way it would be getting a Season 2 if it was, if they were basing it on the viewership. Because I just don't believe anybody was watching this show. Tens of thousands. No more than that. No more than that whatsoever. So I guess we'll look forward to that. I ain't reviewing it, that's for sure, because it is terrible. Who knows? Maybe I'll get drunk one night and binge the entire Season 2. See what happens. But other than that, it's like, again, there's no point reviewing it because it's just same shit, different day. There's not much to add to it. It's a show that is impossible to break down because, there's nothing to break down. So really, if I was to review Season 2, it'd just be me saying, right, that's shit. It'd just be that over and over again. But Velma Season 2, already in development.